Ladies and gentlemen, get ready for an epic journey through the history of one of the most thrilling and adrenaline-fueled events in the world of sports, the Davis Cup. From its humble beginnings in the early 1900s to its current status as the ultimate test of skill, endurance, and teamwork, the Davis Cup has captured the hearts and imaginations of millions of tennis fans around the world. This is the story of the greatest matches, the fiercest rivalries, and the most unforgettable moments in the Davis Cup history. The Davis Cup has been the stage for some of the most memorable moments in tennis history and has featured some of the greatest players of all time. But more than that, the Davis Cup represents the spirit of competition, the drive to be the best, and the power of teamwork. So buckle up, tennis fans, and get ready for a ride you'll never forget. The Davis Cup was established in 1900 by 4 members of the Harvard University tennis team who wanted to challenge the British to a tennis competition. The event was initially called the International Lawn Tennis Challenge, but was later renamed the Davis Cup after one of its founding members, Dwight Davis. The Davis Cup was originally intended to be a competition between the United States and Great Britain only. However, other countries were eventually invited to participate, and the tournament has since become an international event. The first ever Davis Cup match was played between the United States and Great Britain in 1900. The Americans won the match 3-love. The Davis Cup was not held during the 2 World Wars, as many tennis players were serving in the military during those times. Over the years, the competition has grown to become a highly respected international event, featuring teams from over 130 countries. The tournament has also produced some of the most iconic moments in tennis history. One of the most unforgettable moments in the history of the Davis Cup occurred in 1980 when John McEnroe and Bjorn Borg faced off in the final match of the competition. McEnroe, representing the United States, won the match in an epic 5-set battle, ending Borg's 5-year reign as the world's #1 player. The Davis Cup has been won by some unexpected teams over the years. For example, in 1995, the Croatian team won the Davis Cup just 4 years after the country gained independence from Yugoslavia. Some of the most legendary tennis players in history have also competed in the Davis Cup. Bjorn Borg, John McEnroe, Pete Sampras, Andre Agassi, Rafael Nadal, Novak Djokovic, and Roger Federer are just a few of the big names who have represented their countries in the tournament. The Davis Cup has undergone several format changes over the years. In the early years, the competition was played in a challenge round format, where the defending champion team would automatically advance to the final. Today, the tournament is played in a knockout format, similar to other major tennis events. First, there are 12 qualifying teams that are determined based on their performances in the previous year's competition. These teams are the winners of the 12 zonal groups, which are regional competitions that take place in various parts of the world. There are 2 wildcard teams that are selected by the International Tennis Federation, ITF. These teams are typically chosen based on their overall performance and potential to make the competition more exciting and competitive. Once the last 16 teams have been selected, the tournament proceeds as usual, with each team vying for the chance to advance through the rounds and eventually win the prestigious Davis Cup trophy. In the Davis Cup, the word rubber means an individual match. The tournament is divided into different rounds, with the World Group competition being the most important. 16 nations compete in 8 first-round ties, with the 8 winners advancing to the quarterfinals. The 4 winners of the quarterfinals then advance to the semifinals, with the 2 winners of the semifinals competing in the final tie. Each tie consists of 5 rubbers, which are played in 3 days, usually on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. To win the tie, a nation must win 3 or more of the 5 rubbers. On the first day, the first 2 rubbers are singles, which are played by each nation's 2 best available singles players. On the second day, the doubles rubber is played. On the third day, the final 2 rubbers are typically reverse singles, in which the first day contestants usually play again. but they swap opponents from the first-day singles rubbers. However, there are certain circumstances where the team captain may replace one or two of the players who played the singles on Friday with other players who were nominated for the tie. For example, if the tie has already been decided in favor of one of the teams, it is common for younger or lower-ranked team members to play the remaining dead rubbers in order to gain Davis Cup experience. In addition to the men's tournament, there is also a Davis Cup competition for women, known as the Fed Cup. The Fed Cup was established in 1963 and has grown to become one of the most prestigious team competitions in women's tennis. The Davis Cup has featured some unique playing conditions over the years. For example, in 2019, the Davis Cup final was played on a hard court that featured a unique color scheme, black court with white lines. 5 most interesting matches in the history of the Davis Cup. Number 1, 1972 final, United States versus Romania. This was a historic Davis Cup final, as it marked the first time that a Davis Cup match was decided by a 5th and final set tiebreaker. The match was played between the United States and Romania in Bucharest and was won by the United States team, led by Stan Smith and Arthur Ashe. The match is remembered for its intense drama and close finishes, and is often cited as one of the greatest matches in Davis Cup history. 2. 1973 final, Australia versus United States. The match was played in Melbourne, Australia, and featured some of the greatest players of all time, including Rod Laver and John Newcombe. Australia won the match 5-love, marking their 4th consecutive Davis Cup victory. 3. 1980 final, United States versus Sweden. This is one of the most memorable Davis Cup finals in history. The United States team, led by John McEnroe, defeated the heavily favored Swedish team, led by Bjorn Borg, in an epic 5-set match that lasted over 4 hours. McEnroe's victory over Borg in the final match of the competition ended Borg's 5-year reign as the world's #1 player. 4. 1991 final, United States versus France. This was a dramatic Davis Cup final, as the United States team, led by Pete Sampras and Andre Agassi, faced off against a strong French team. The match went down to the wire, with the United States winning the final doubles match to secure a 3-1 victory. 5. 2005 quarterfinals, Croatia versus United States. This match is often referred to as the Miracle in Split. The United States team, featuring Andy Roddick and James Blake, was heavily favored to win, but the Croatian team pulled off a stunning upset, winning all 3 of their singles matches to secure a 3-2 victory. Notable incidents that have occurred throughout the history of the Davis Cup. 1. The Davis Cup riot of 1974. During a match between the United States and Chile in Santiago, a group of Chilean fans became enraged after an umpire's call went against their team. The fans stormed the court and attacked the American players, leading to a suspension of the match and a forfeit by the Chilean team. 2. The dead rubber controversy of 2007. In a Davis Cup match between Russia and Israel, the Russian team refused to play the final dead rubber match, citing security concerns due to the ongoing conflict between Israel and Hezbollah. The Israeli team was awarded the win, but the incident led to controversy and criticism from some quarters. 3. The 2002 Davis Cup boycott. Several top American players, including Andre Agassi and Pete Sampras, boycotted the Davis Cup that year due to disagreements with the USTA over scheduling and other issues. The boycott led to a weaker American team and an early exit from the competition. 4. The 2013 Davis Cup disqualification. In a match between Canada and Spain, Canadian player Denis Shapovalov became frustrated and hit a ball in anger, accidentally striking the umpire in the face. Shapovalov was immediately disqualified from the match, and Canada went on to lose the tie. 5. The 2018 Davis Cup team dispute. The Davis Cup format underwent a significant overhaul in 2018, leading to controversy and disagreement among players and national tennis federations. Some players, including Novak Djokovic and Rafael Nadal, expressed concerns over the new format and declined to participate in the competition that year. There you have it, a brief overview of the history of the Davis Cup. It's no wonder that this tournament has been a fan favorite for over a century, with its rich history and legendary players. Who knows what kind of amazing moments we'll see in the future of the Davis Cup? We'll have to wait and see. Thanks for watching.